Live from the station that's in your corner, you're watching Fox 4 News at 10.
We, the jury, find as follows as to the defendant in this case. Count 1, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder.
A husband and father convicted of plotting and carrying out the murder of his own wife.
A jury finding Mark Sievers guilty as charged tonight. A moment 4 years in the making tonight as junior jurors convict Mark Sievers of planning and hiring someone to murder his own wife, beloved Bonita Springs Dr. Teresa Sievers.
An extremely emotional day for her family as the jury came back with that verdict after only 4 hours of deliberating. And you can see their reaction to the decision. Clenching hands as the verdict was read, then holding each other again as people began to leave the courtroom.
Now, before we delve into today's events, we want to refresh your memory on how this case has played out over the last few years.
Fox 4's Lisa Greenberg talks us through what you need to know.
On the morning of June 29th, 2015, a family friend found Teresa Sievers dead on her kitchen floor, beaten with a hammer. The investigation led to the arrest of 2 men in Missouri, Jimmy Rogers and Curtis Wright, and would later reveal Wright and Mark Sievers were best friends. In December 2015, the state attorney released documents claiming Mark Sievers hired Rogers and Wright to kill his wife so he could collect millions of insurance money. Months later, deputies arrested Mark Sievers in connection to his wife's murder.
Anything you have to say for your daughters?
Wright pled guilty to second-degree murder and agreed to cooperate with prosecutors.
And as for Rogers, a jury found him guilty of second-degree murder in connection to Teresa's death. He was found not guilty on all other related charges. Now, he was originally set to be sentenced last month, but that has since been pushed back to December 12th, which is next Thursday.
Now, this trial, long and tedious, as those who loved and knew Teresa Sievers waited to find out if justice would be served. Fox 4's Sandra Rodriguez takes a closer look at how not only Teresa's family reacted, but Mark Sievers himself.
We, the jury, find as follows as to the defendant in this case.
Teresa Sievers' family holding their breath.
The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder.
As they waited to hear the verdict. But as the family jumped with relief to hear Mark Sievers was found guilty of first-degree murder and conspiracy, Mark Sievers was stone-faced before becoming emotional himself to hear he is now potentially facing the death penalty.
Very happy with the verdict.
The family, overcome with emotions, walked out of the courtroom in tears. And Lisa says her family has waited a very long time for this verdict and can finally close this chapter of their lives.
Put it behind and start living my life.
Do you feel like justice was served for your sister?
Absolutely.
The defense exchanged hugs with the family after hearing the verdict. They say they are happy Teresa Sievers' family can now get some closure.
This is only the first stage, and there is a second phase that is coming next week, so it's time for us to get back to work.
The defense denied to comment as they exited the courtroom and entered the elevator.
No, thank you. No, have a good night.
Both sides decided not to sequester the jury during the penalty phase that is set to begin next Tuesday, and which they say will take about 2 days. At the Lee County Justice Center, Sandra Rodriguez, Fox 4 in your corner.
Sandra, thank you. A first for everything. Video recordings stirred up controversy in the courtroom this afternoon as the judge confronted Sievers' lawyer about a man reportedly recording witnesses outside in the hallway.
You've paid Mr. Olson for services in this case?
The JAC has paid Mr. Olson.
That's going to be scrutinized.
Now, a man who says he's a private investigator told the judge it was his cameraman who had been out in the hall. The judge says this is the first time something like this has happened in his 12 years on the bench. He also expressed concerns the recordings felt a little like witness intimidation.
And throughout this trial, Fox 4 brought you legal analysis from downtown Fort Myers as everything unfolded inside the Lee County Courthouse. Tonight, our legal expert tells us the verdict itself was not much a surprise, as was the short time it took for the jury to reach that verdict. The main reason why the jury convicted Mark Sievers on first-degree murder, she says, relied solely on one person's testimony.
No, it was pretty direct. He asked me if I would kill her or take care of it.
It was a stunner to come in that quickly, but for it to be that quick, They knew what they wanted to do from the moment they got in there. They had to know. They just simply had to go through the information to make sure they were all in agreement. So they did their job, they did it right. And I think that's very important. What it tells me, though, they listened to Curtis Wainwright. They believed him.
The reason why the state was able to get first-degree murder was because the jury was able to convict on conspiracy.
With conspiracy, you're showing that a man was planning it, thinking about it ahead of time, which makes it a worse kind of crime than a crime of passion. With the conspiracy, they get premeditation. With premeditation, they have first-degree murder.
So what's next for Mark Sievers?
Well, next week, the jurors who convicted him will return to determine his sentence. Now, this is called the penalty phase. It starts next Tuesday on the 10th. Now, there are two options on the table we want to tell you about. The first one is life in prison. The second one, the death penalty. But in order for the death penalty to be the sentence, all 12 jurors have to unanimously agree that that should be the sentence. Otherwise, Sievers will face a lesser sentence, or in this case, possibly life in prison. Now, from the very beginning until a jury decided Mark Sievers' fate, you can find all of our coverage of Teresa Sievers' murder online, not only on fox4now.com, but of course through the Fox 4 mobile app.
You can also find previous streams of trial coverage on our Facebook page and updates from the trials on our Twitter.
Breaking news tonight, at least one person injured after a shooting at the Pearl Harbor Naval Shipyard in Hawaii. Now, there were reports of shots being fired earlier tonight. Military officials say it's not clear if the shooter has been arrested. Queens Medical Center says it is treating one patient at this time.
It was another beautiful afternoon across southwest Florida. Sunny skies and temperatures into the 70s, so a nice rebound from the cool temperatures we had this morning. But it looks like those temperatures are on their way back down right now. You can see many locations inland into the low 50s. 52 appears to be a pretty popular number. 51, the cool spot right now, up towards Northport. But 61 at Page Field, and in here at the Cape, we're at 63 degrees. So we're going to be in the 50s most areas tomorrow morning, with mostly sunny skies. So a nice crisp start to your day for tomorrow with a light northerly wind and more sunshine here for tomorrow afternoon. We'll tell you about how much longer these cool mornings will stick around, and we expect those 80-degree high temperatures to return to the area in your Storm Chill forecast coming up.
See you then, Derek. Thanks. Taking matters into their own hands. One Southwest Florida community worked to protect their piece of paradise this week. People living in Fairview Isles on Fort Myers Beach worked with the nonprofit Ocean Habitats. Together, they installed 50 artificial mini reefs, an effort the president of the organization says helps the ecosystem.
It's actually the food source for the filter feeders that live on here. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner for them. They strain that out of the water, and then they expel water that's free of the little microorganisms that we call algae.
The mini reefs will also help grow more than 25,000 fish, shrimp, and crabs.
We now know the names of the two people found dead inside a Cape Coral home yesterday morning. Police responded to a home on Northwest 9th Street. That's where they found Michael Walpole and Joanne Walpole dead inside. They are mother and son. Police have not said what led up to their deaths. However, we are learning Michael had a criminal past. He was a registered sex offender. Caught on camera, home surveillance catches two men allegedly stealing a gun from a Lehigh Acres home, and the Lee County Sheriff's Office says they are still on the run. Deputies say it happened on 28th Street Southwest, and the suspects got into the house through a rear sliding door. It looks like one suspect, wearing a black hoodie right here and rubber gloves, filled a backpack with plenty of items. The other suspect is wearing sunglasses and a yellow shirt, as you see here. One homeowner told Fox 4 he's hiking up security to protect his family.
The last thing we want to hear is, you're out working and your kids getting hurt, or, neighbors getting hurt. It's not so much about the material thing, but life is number one for me.
Now, if you recognize the two men in these photos, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-780-TIPS. Well, 4 is in your corner with an important warning for women tonight.
How you can protect yourself from people getting too close for comfort while you're out shopping.
I might not have the same beautiful sight from my room to the sea.
The major changes coming to a piece of beachfront paradise in Naples.
And learning what you like with the help of innovative tech. how Florida's college students are changing the way companies market to you. Next.
Naples.
Well, Fox 4 staying on top of breaking news tonight. We've learned an American sailor shot and injured 3 Defense Department employees at the Pearl Harbor shipyard in Hawaii. Now, so far, the military has not released a possible motive or any information identifying that sailor. The base is now back open following a lockdown. We'll be sure to update you as we continue to get more details about just what happened there. Well, history demolished. Today, Naples City Council approved the zoning site plan and a number of residential units for the upcoming 5-star resort set to replace the historic Naples Beach Hotel and Golf Club.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. Fox 4's Miana Massey spoke with neighbors about what this change could bring to the area.
In March, Fox 4 reported the initial plans for redevelopment. Today's meeting confirmed construction plans for the residential portion of the resort. Helen Boulin says she comes to this hotel each year because of its proximity to the beach and seclusion.
Which value is more important? The money or nature? Okay, you choose. Of course, you choose. I come here for nature.
Some people are frustrated with the city's decision to destroy such a historic site in the community.
I don't want Naples to become Marco Island with the high rise all on the beaches. That's what makes Naples a unique community.
It's going to be really crowded. It's nice to have some space close to the sea.
Carol O'Connell understands that there are both pros and cons to building this new resort.
It's a bigger resort, so it's going to bring more revenue into the Naples community.
Tracy Keith says the Naples Beach Hotel has been a landmark for years, but understands the decision to rebuild and the good that can come out of change.
Change is difficult for everybody. You know, it's kind of uncomfortable, so we'll have to see how things go.
This hotel was originally built in 1946 and owned by the Watkins family. After a recent change of ownership, the new developers, the Athens Group, plans to tear down this hotel and start construction in 2021. In Naples, Miana Massey, Fox 4, in your corner.
Thanks, Miana. A Florida mother whose husband's deployed overseas didn't want to leave him out of a holiday photo, so she found a way to make sure he could be included. For Danielle Cabo and her twin boys, this is the first Christmas without her husband. He left earlier this year for a year-long deployment. He's serving as a Black Hawk pilot, but she didn't want him to skip the family's Christmas photo. So their card this year is a combo of 2 pictures. Looks good, including one of him as he serves overseas. A sweet surprise just in time for the holidays. 4th grader Ethan Perez got a surprise visit from his brother at Calusa Park Elementary in Naples. His brother, who's in the Navy, returned from Texas after being gone 8 months. He's home for a short visit and then will be stationed in North Carolina for additional training before being deployed.
Thank you. Can you tell by my smile how I feel? Let's give a big yay!
We love that. 'Tis the season for giving. Fox 4 and the Scripps Howard Foundation donated $1,000 to the nonprofit group Backpacks Kids this morning. They fill backpacks with food and send them home with kids in Charlotte County who may not have anything to eat over the weekend. All of the money donated to the group goes towards the purchase of food and backpacks.
We're now feeding 1,000 children, and we've expanded. We're feeding children in 19 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, and we've now expanded to high school, where we're feeding the kids who go out for extracurricular activities. We're fixing peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and they're eating before they go play.
Awesome work and important work. Backpack Kids says it costs $5 to fill a backpack. So if you'd like to donate or volunteer, you can head to fox4now.com to find out just how.
All right, nice to see our general manager, Daryl Green, out there, along with Amy Wegman and meteorologist Trent Eric.
Yeah.
Pulling some double duty.
Yeah, they were working
going
pretty fast.
Working hard, yeah.
You guys.
All for a good cause. That's great.
Feels pretty nice out.
It really does, actually. It looks like temperatures, though, tomorrow morning are going to be a bit on the chilly side, around 50 for many locations. Could even see some upper 40s out there. So we're not done with these cool mornings just yet. But we will start to warm up gradually as we go into the weekend and into next week as we start to see that pattern change that we've been talking about here over the past couple of days. And of course, as we can expect during the dry season, no rain in the forecast, at least not for the foreseeable future. Low to mid 50s inland, low 60s at the coast, so a little warmer there down towards Naples and Marco Island and Everglades City, all coming in the low 60s right now. Here at the Cape, we're at 63 degrees, but as I mentioned earlier, Northport, the cool spot right now at 51. 50s in the morning, light northerly winds, plenty of sunshine for tomorrow afternoon. Again, high temperatures reaching the low to mid 70s. So we've gotten a reinforcing shot of some cooler air to the region with a front that moved through the area uneventfully here this afternoon. So that northwest flow continues. Notice where all the clouds are going. Notice they're moving from northwest to southeast. So the winds of the upper atmosphere still coming out of the northwest, and that's continuing to send that cooler and drier air our way. And that does not look like it's going to be changing, at least not until the weekend, that we start to get back more to a west to southwest flow, and that's when things will start to warm up a little bit more with highs back into the 80s. Predictor again showing sunshine for tomorrow morning. A few clouds offshore throughout the day tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies. Temperatures in the low to mid 70s. We're going to be a little warmer on Friday. Highs will get back into the upper 70s. And then for the weekend, that's where we're expecting highs around 80 for both Saturday and Sunday, and that warming trend will continue into early next week. The next front that will arrive will be next Wednesday, and that's when we expect temperatures to drop back down into the 70s for highs. So your lows tonight, a couple of places into the upper 40s, but most areas that will stay this side of 50 degrees. Looks like readings will be warmest, though, near the coast, and then, of course, coolest farther inland. 4-point forecast for tomorrow looking like this. Winds out of the northeast 5 to 10. Naples and the Cape at 74. Same thing for Fort Myers and Port Charlotte tomorrow afternoon, coming in around 72, 73 degrees. So tonight, clear skies. We're going to go a low of 51 as you wake up tomorrow morning. Winds will be light, northerly, or calm. And then for your Thursday, sunshine, temperatures into the mid-70s with a northeast wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's your 7-day forecast. You see we start to warm up towards the weekend. 79 on Friday and then around 80 for Saturday and Sunday. Low 80s to start next week. And the next front will arrive later Tuesday and the Wednesday, with that slight chance for a shower coming up on Tuesday, but the forecast looks mainly dry here for the next 5 to 7 days, and a little bit cooler behind that front next Wednesday. Highs in the mid-70s.
Thanks, Derek. Well, recent cases of groping and photos up skirts prompting safety concerns right here in Southwest Florida.
How you can protect yourself while you're out and about this holiday season.
And how some Florida college students are using new technology to piece together what you like and what you don't like. That's still ahead on Fox 4 News at 10.
Nation.
The University of South Florida is combining science and marketing in a way that is revolutionizing how items are sold.
Students are using sensors to keep track now of how consumers react to different products without having to ask them. The College of Business just opened up a new lab with 20 stations, all equipped with the latest facial expression, eye tracking, and skin response technology. The goal, see what buyers focus on so businesses can better market to them.
In this particular one, it looks like maybe the buffalo chicken was of interest to you.
Can restaurants take this information and go back and maybe redesign their menus?
Absolutely. What are the dominant patterns? Because if I know how you're going to interpret the menu, I've got a better chance of understanding where I might want to put something.
Wow, minority report, right? The university is also using the technology to research a new anti-vaping commercial campaign.
You know what I have to say about that, Jane? Go Bulls. A Southwest Florida fire department has a creative way of trying to keep people aware of fire hazards this holiday season.
The festive way Cape Coral firefighters hope will remind you and everyone to take extra precautions.
And a look at how crews are working to make sure you're safe at the upcoming Super Bowl right down the street in Miami. That's coming up on Fox 4 News at 10.
Yeah. Live from the station that's in your corner, you're watching Fox 4 News at 10.
Ladies, listen up. Whether you are shopping, seeing a movie, or just getting groceries, women need to be extra careful during the holidays.
Yeah, can't put your guard down out there. Criminals are looking for their next victim, watching to see who puts their guard down for that 1 second.
Well, right now, criminals are out there looking for their next victim, waiting to see who puts their guard down for 1 second. Inside this Burlington and Fort Myers, police say a man took photos up a woman's skirt in the dressing room. The victim was then able to capture this photo of the guy inside the store.
With that information, the police can easily arrest this individual.
Former Police Chief Walt Zelisko shares some advice for holiday shoppers on what to do when you're in a dressing room.
Look around, see if anybody's standing by, particularly when you're walking in. See if there are any males or anybody just close by just watching you.
Zelisko also says be extra aware and have your keys ready to go when walking to your car. That way, you're less of a target.
Criminals don't want to be in a position where they can be easily identified or bring attention to them. What they're trying to do is to give an element of surprise upon the victim.
A woman inside the movie theater at Bell Tower was caught by surprise. In a report, police say last Friday the victim was getting a drink at the concession when a man approached her, asking if she was alone. She said yes.
You never admit that you're alone, because that's just going to, get the guy more interested in what he wants to do.
Police say the man then followed her back to her seat and started groping her legs and chest.
She should have gotten up right away, moved away. Scream. I mean, when something like this happens to you, when somebody touches you, start screaming in a movie theater.
The woman did leave right away, but Zelisko says getting a good description is key. In this case, the victim says the man was white, 5'9", about 200 pounds, had grayish hair, and wore plaid shorts and a polo shirt. Now, if you have a helpful tip for police, just send it to their new free app called True Blue or call Crime Stoppers. In Fort Myers tonight, I'm Jillian Hartman, Fox 4, in your corner.
Jillian, thank you. A man has been arrested for the death of his girlfriend and their unborn baby. The Sarasota Sheriff's Office say they believe Casey Swart purchased fentanyl and shared it with his girlfriend. She was 9 months pregnant when deputies arrived on scene. They found the woman unconscious. She and her baby died at the hospital. The victims' identities are protected under Marcy's law. Swart's facing 1 count of manslaughter and 1 count of manslaughter killing of an unborn child by injury to its mother. Anyone with information in the case is asked to call Sarasota Crime Stoppers.
George Zimmerman is going after Trayvon Martin's family for millions of dollars in a new lawsuit. He's filed a $100 million suit against Martin's parents, their attorney, and others. Zimmerman was acquitted of murdering Martin after he shot and killed the 17-year-old back in 2012. Well, he now claims the teen's parents knew a woman who testified during the trial, and they knew that this was a fake witness, he says. Zimmerman is also alleging defamation by the Martin family attorney, Ben Crump. Now, in a statement, Crump calls the lawsuit, quote, unfounded and reckless. He also says Zimmerman is trying to profit off the Martin family's grief.
A seasonal UPS worker in Florida is arrested for stealing packages. Emmanuel Reagan is accused of hiding packages underneath a dumpster and returning later in the day to pick them up. Police say Reagan did it back-to-back days at the same location in North Miami-Dade. He was helping unload the packages when the alleged acts were committed. The items included 2 Kindles, 2 PlayStation 4Ss, and an iPad. Police say the stolen items were discovered inside his home. Reagan's now charged with third-degree grand theft. In one note, the judge in the case, Mindy Glazer, has previously made news. Back in 2015, she recognized the defendant, Arthur Booth, as one of her former middle school classmates. That story had a happy ending. A year later, they reunited when Booth was released from prison.
At least 1 person is injured tonight after a crash on I-75 in Fort Myers. It happened just after 12:30 in the southbound lanes near mile marker 125. That's just north of Corkscrew Road. Take a look. You can see the traffic backup it caused. My goodness, what a mess. No word on what led up to this crash, but you can stick with Fox 4, of course, for any updates.
A new bill requiring more training to carry concealed weapons in Florida isn't getting support from those who stand to benefit, instructors.
That's right. State Capitol reporter Forrest Saunders found out why some say the proposed change means more than just money.
When Charlie Strickland isn't helping sell firearms in his gun shop, he's training others to use them at the range.
We've been in business 10 years. We've trained about between 25 and 30,000 people.
This new Florida House Bill 809 could boost those numbers. If passed, you need safety training each time you renew a concealed carry permit, and you need to do it every 5 years instead of every 7.
I should be jumping up and down for joy thinking that we're going to make a lot of money on this, but we don't think that.
Strickland, a Second Amendment advocate, feels the bill further erodes the right to bear arms. Though he appreciates regular training, he said it should be a person's choice.
I don't believe in this legislation any more than I think you should have to have an IQ test to vote, Constitutional right is a constitutional right.
To creators, the proposal is an all-around big win for gun safety. Ag Commissioner Nikki Fried among them, also touting its other provision. Florida could keep gun licensing fingerprints, better stopping those with felonies outside the state from renewing carry permits.
Unfortunately, you're going to have those individuals who don't understand that what we're doing is common sense regulations to protect our citizens.
While Fried is hoping for bipartisan support once the bill is assigned to committee.
We are constitutionalists. We're originalists. We believe in the Second Amendment.
Strickland says he'll be sticking to his constitutional convictions despite missing out on what could be a moneymaker. In Tallahassee, Forrest Saunders, Fox 4 in your corner.
A portion of I-75 getting a new name this week in honor of a fallen Florida Highway Patrol trooper. The stretch between mile marker 100 and 102 in Collier County will be dedicated in memory of Trooper Lindell J. Gibbons. Gibbons died in 1985 when his patrol vehicle crashed during an attempted traffic stop right there on 75. A ceremony for the dedication will be held this Friday morning at the Fort Myers, Florida Highway Patrol office.
The Cape Coral Fire Department's getting into the holiday spirit and reminding you fires are preventable. For the 7th year, firefighters at the station on Santa Barbara Boulevard hung a wreath covered in green lights. Those will be changed to red every time a preventable fire happens. Overall, the goal is to keep that wreath green for the next month.
A cooking fire, a decorations fire, candle, smoking, anything along those lines, we will turn one of the bulbs from green to red. And again, it's just a visual reminder to everyone to slow down a little bit.
Oh, we all need that reminder. The message is working, though. Fire officials have seen the number of preventable fires go down since they started putting the wreath out 7 years ago.
We can do it, Southwest Florida. We can keep it green.
Keep it green.
Well, Super Bowl 54 is less than 2 months away, and all the action is going on right down the road in Miami Gardens.
And you're going to be able to watch it here on Fox 4.
That's right.
Law enforcement's also ready to keep fans and anyone else who's there for the big game safe. Fox News' Jeff Lennox reports on a security exercise at the Super Bowl site.
It is one of the biggest sporting events of the year. Super Bowl 54 set to bring thousands of people to Hard Rock Stadium come February. Local, state, and federal law enforcement officials from dozens of agencies coming together Tuesday for an exercise aimed at making sure everything goes smoothly at the big game.
Where we're doing one of the final exercises, just looking at all the possibilities, all the kind of scenarios, just to make sure that we are as prepared as we possibly can be.
Those in attendance can expect a large police presence, as well as fences and other security measures. But officials say the stepped-up security won't get in the way of a good time.
You will see a lot of, law enforcement, a lot of physical security. We want people to feel safe, but also be able to get in and enjoy themselves around pretty easily.
Officials say exercises like this one allow them to get ready for any possible trouble, from bad weather to protests to acts of terror.
This really lays a foundation for any other event that comes, to South Florida, and if there is a critical incident at any time, the ability of the agencies to work together is just priceless.
305, the Magic City.
Super Bowl 54 marks a record 11th time the event has been held here in South Florida. Officials say they hope it won't be the last.
What we want is everybody to come to South Florida, have a good time, enjoy the festivities, enjoy the weather, and have a safe game, a safe visit to South Florida so that we could have a return visit from the Super Bowl in a few years.
That's right. And that was Fox's Jeff Lennox. Don't forget, again, you can catch all the Super Bowl action right here on Fox 4. It's going to be a magical night on game night. Well, Christmas is just a few short weeks away.
Which means there's still plenty of time to snag some deals. We're breaking down what the best things to buy are between now and then so you don't waste your money.
Yeah. Dangerous dye. The new study linking your hair color to your risk for developing breast cancer.
Important information, plus the hefty consequences companies behind robocalls could soon face if the president signs off on a new bill.
All right, as we go to break, another reminder of, well, you just need to slow down and enjoy this view from the Storm Smart Sky Camera over Pink Shell, Fort Myers Beach. Look how beautiful that is. You got to take that in every once in a while, especially this time of year. Chief Meteorologist Derek Beasley is coming up with the rest of your forecast here on Fox 4 News at 10.
It's huge.
Well, Black Friday and Cyber Monday may be over, but that doesn't mean you can't save big on Christmas.
That's right. Fox 4's John Matarese breaks down the best savings you can get between now and the big day so you don't waste your money.
Black Friday's over, Cyber Monday is done, and you still don't have everything you need? Well, remember, it's a shorter shopping season this year. Not to worry, you'll still find plenty of deals to come. Cyber Monday, just like Black Friday, has morphed into an entire week of deals, and you'll find plenty of sales coming up the next 3 weekends. On top of that, you have free shipping day on Saturday, December 14th, but those deals are rarely at Cyber Monday prices. But remember, Thanksgiving was a week later this year. That means you have only 3 weeks until Christmas Eve, not 4 as we usually do. If you like to wait for last-minute bargains, don't wait much past the weekend of December 14th and 15th. 2 things to watch for as you get to mid-December: clothing and toys. Prices are usually slashed 2 weeks before Christmas. For TVs and electronics, however, the lowest prices are typically over Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So don't wait too much longer so you don't waste your money. I'm John Matteries, Fox 4 in your corner.
All right, a lot of shopping, little time. Some people don't like revealing their age, but if you're thinking about signing up for Instagram, you'll have to give it up. From now on, the social media app will ask new users their date of birth. Previously, Instagram users were required to confirm they were ages 13 or older when signing up, but they didn't have to provide an exact birthday. The social media site is doing it to help keep young people safer and enable more age-appropriate experiences overall. Permanent hair dyes and chemical straighteners may be associated with an elevated risk for breast cancer. The study tracked more than 46,000 women over several years. Overall, women using permanent dye had a 9% higher risk of developing breast cancer. Black women who used permanent dye had a 45% higher risk of breast cancer compared to non-users. And those who use these products every 8 weeks or more often had a 60% higher risk. Researchers say more research on this is needed.
You know those annoying robocalls? Congress is cracking down on them. The House approved a bill called the Trace Act. So fines would be up to $10,000 per robocall. The Trace Act would also require telecom companies to provide new technologies to protect the integrity of caller ID. That should make it harder for robocallers to impersonate real people, businesses, or government agencies like they do. Also, the bill forces telecom companies to offer robocall blocking features to consumers for free. Now, supporters of the bill say they hope President Donald Trump will sign it by the year's end. Speaking of the president, get this. A Florida boy is challenging President Trump to go vegan for a month, but this is all for a good cause. Evan says if the president does, a nonprofit will donate $1 million to veterans. Evan is a self-proclaimed animal rights activist, and get this, he is only 9 years old. If the president accepts, the nonprofit says it's ready to sign that big check within an hour of the president tweeting that he's accepted the challenge.
Wow, that's a good one maybe for all of us to take on.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
What a brave little 9-year-old.
Yeah,
Seriously.
You bet. Yeah.
After the holidays, though, got a lot.
Yeah, got to delay it a little bit.
Food to eat.
Yeah,
that's right, Jane.
That's
Just
right.
calling it like it is.
Yeah, I tell you what, beautiful day across the area. Lots of sunshine in the 70s after a cool start. Looks like we've got a few more cool mornings on the way. The weekend, though, looking great. Here are your highs this afternoon. You can see lots of 70s showing up. Coolest temperatures north of the Caloosahatchee River, really, up around Port Charlotte and getting up to areas around Inglewood and Arcadia, right around 70 degrees. But everywhere south of that, though, seeing mid-70s with lots of sunshine. So, again, another beautiful day across the region. No rain on the radar and not expecting any anytime soon. Currently in the 50s area-wide, inland, with the exception of the coastal areas that are now into the low 60s. So tomorrow morning's forecast will be in the 50s, plenty of sun. So have the jacket or the long sleeves. Light northerly winds. We're expecting low to mid-70s tomorrow afternoon, but probably about a degree or two cooler than what we saw today. But still, it's going to be a very nice afternoon. Other than a few high clouds streaming across the area, really not much expected to head our way anytime soon. You can see some high clouds streaming back westward, associated with a very strong jet stream in the upper atmosphere over parts of the southern plains and down into the south central U.S. And we've got this storm system that is now moving through the Four Corners, now bringing a little bit of rain and snow there, and some lake effect snow showers across portions of the northeast at the present time. But that northwesterly flow continues. You can see the arrows pointing from northwest to southeast, indicating that cooler air and drier air that continues to filter into our region. That will remain the case for another day or so, and then we're going to start to shift to more of a southwesterly wind flow, and that is what's going to warm us up here over the next several days. So again, All the way through the weekend, expecting really nice weather. We'll start to get warmer overnight low temperatures, though, as we go into the upcoming weekend. So here's a look at your forecast. As we go throughout the overnight hours tonight, will be mostly clear. Temperatures falling to around 50 degrees. There may be some locations that'll get into the upper 40s, some of those typically cooler spots inland, but most areas, though, will end up right around 50 degrees with a calm wind becoming light northerly here for tomorrow, and then a northeast wind 5 to 10 for your Thursday. Lots of sunshine. 74 degrees your expected high temperature. Again, those winds out of the northeast at about 5 to 10. That will continue as we go through the weekend. Then we'll start to get more of an east to southeast wind flow, and that will cause a little bit more moisture to sneak back into the area, so our overnight temperatures will start getting warmer by next week. But notice that if we have a fairly uneventful forecast here for the next 7 days, there will be a very slim chance for a shower on Tuesday with another cold front that's going to move through the area. We expect that to cool us back into the 70s here for next Wednesday. But in the meantime, it looks like that warm up is expected for this weekend. So if you're a fan of the 80s, they will be returning to the area here by Saturday and Sunday.
We'll take it. 80s and big hair. Remember, Four in Your Corner is your source for complete weather coverage. Download our free Storm Shield 4 mobile app for push alerts and up-to-date information about weather conditions in your area.
A new way to experience a galaxy far, far away. The brand new ride opening up at Disney World tomorrow. Next on Fox 4 News at 10.
Serve your family.
Fox 4 is staying on top of this breaking news out of Hawaii. We have now learned that 3 people are now dead after an American sailor opened fire at the Pearl Harbor shipyard. Now, one of those 3 was the shooter, and a 4th person is now being treated at a hospital. Now, so far, the military has not released a possible motive or any information identifying that sailor, but you can count on Fox 4 to update you as soon as we learn more. Well, a little lighter news for you tonight. Rise of the Resistance is nearly here. That's Disney World's latest Star Wars ride. Take a look. The new ride officially opens up tomorrow at Hollywood Studios. It's part of the Galaxy's Edge theme park there. Riders are thrown into a battle between the First Order and the Resistance. You can join the Resistance, be captured by the First Order, and then escape from Kylo Ren.
We really combined all sorts of different ride elements and ride types into this one experience. So it's never really been done before. We're really breaking new ground with this combination of different attraction types to pull it to life and make sure that we're giving guests something that they've never even seen before.
The same ride will also open up at Disneyland next month. And speaking of Star Wars, you can pre-order your own Baby Yoda. Disney's online store is accepting orders for new toys featuring the character, including a plush doll and 2 bobbleheads. Just a reminder, Baby Yoda is the name the internet gave the character, not the official name, but don't expect one in time for Christmas. They won't ship until spring.
Coming up new at 11, a dramatic rescue of how a Florida woman and her dog were pulled to safety just in the nick of time after crashing. We'll tell you about the one person who spotted the stranded woman.